Stephen first got interested in hypnosis as a child. His first successes came in high school and college, which led to formal training at the Omni Hypnosis Training Center in 2001. Stephen continued on to become a certified instructor with the National Guild of Hypnotists. Although his professional career as software engineer remains more financially practical, Stephen continues to pursue this passion as time allows with clients, students, shows, and speeches, such as today's speech. With his speech entitled, "What is Hypnosis?" please welcome advanced communicator, Stephen Morgan.
Over the past 25 years, I've had a lot of people find it very fascinating that I'd be interested in hypnosis at all. Two questions pop up almost universally from everybody. First one, what is hypnosis? And the second one, is it real? I imagine it's just a complete figment of my imagination, and I've just been sitting on my thumbs twiddling for the past 25 years, and everyone's making a big joke on me. It's actually been a phenomenon known throughout history, probably more so than any other medical phenomenon you can think of. It was known to the ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans. There were sleep temples that were in those societies. What they were doing was hypnosis. These days, we're not exactly sure. We know that we see people doing things on stage, and it's really kind of silly. And we know that people are doing hypnosis to try and help with phobias or various other issues, but not sure how. When I was taking formal training, the National Guild of Hypnotists' definition of hypnosis was an altered state of consciousness. Who here has been in an altered state of consciousness? Does that quite qualify? I actually learned Ellman's definition. Dave Ellman was in the 40s a hypnotist of note, and he used the definition. Hypnosis was the bypassing of the critical factor of the conscious mind and establishment of selective thinking. That's a little bit confusing too, and in my experience, that's not quite the case either. In my definition, which is based on a model of what hypnosis is that hypnosis is essentially a highly focused, imaginative state, allowing you to bypass the conscious mind to access what's in the subconscious, thereby defining what's subconscious, what's conscious. You've heard the terms before, but they don't necessarily make sense either, do they? Until you've got definitions for those. The model of the mind I use has the subconscious mind as that. Think of it as what you're born with. You're a baby. You have certain things that are universal to all babies. They have emotions. They are able to take sensory input from their sight, hearing, touch. Every baby has these things. Every animal that we know of has these senses. And memories are accessed in there, a combination of what we were emotionally feeling and all of our sensory input at a particular moment. The conscious mind doesn't come till later, till you've grown a little bit and developed to the point where you can start analyzing, rationalizing. At that point, you start kind of going, this is the way the world is. And anything that fits that model, you allow to keep coming in. But anything that doesn't fit that model, you reject. And if you get really bad, you end up on the Sunday morning talk shows, arguing with somebody with a completely different worldview and making no sense to either one. Hypnosis is accessing a part of the subconscious, which is the imagination. And if you can stimulate the imagination to a point where you can essentially open windows through that worldview and think of imagining something different. And if you can allow something to come in through imagination, you can access the subconscious and be able to make change, possibly rapid change and very quickly. What was this going to feel like? It's entertaining if you ever talk to somebody who's been a participant in a stage show, a stage hypnosis show, and they come up afterwards and go, oh, I wasn't in hypnosis, I remembered every bit of it. You weren't told to forget anything. Or better yet, I felt normal. I was just playing along. That takes a bit of imagination now, doesn't it? Have you ever found yourself so engrossed, say a book, a movie, or daydreaming, and completely lost track of the world around you? That is your imagination highly stimulated. That's hypnosis. It's normal. We all do it. That's why they come up and say, oh, I felt perfectly normal. Yeah, it's because you've been there a lot. That's why you were so good on stage. Everybody who has any imaginative capability can get to that state. And those who are very highly imaginative do it a lot on their own. So when it comes down to saying to somebody, what is it like to be in hypnosis? You're daydreaming. You might be paying attention to what the hypnotist is saying very closely, or you might be ignoring them completely, wandering off consciously into other realms of thought, but the subconscious still takes every bit of input. What can hypnosis do? Well, the subconscious is dealing with your emotions. It has the ties to your memory between the emotional states and the physical stimuli. If you have, say, a strong fear of something, that fear takes a lot of energy to maintain, and it's tied to some sort of a memory, some sort of an experience in your past. What if you could find out what that experience was, realize that's not a problem anymore, let go of all that energy that you've been tied up with, and let the fear disappear? In fact, the worse the fear, the quicker and easier it is to get rid of it. Because you don't want to hold on to that. Why would you want to hold on to something that is no longer a threat? And in fact, I've been able to help people get over their fears in 20 minutes and less that have been lifelong ones. It's not that hard. It's all about being able to imagine it and being able to allow yourself to access that and make it happen. If you have any imagination at all, and if you're sitting here still listening to me, you have some imagination, then you have the ability to do this. Whether you'll do it for me or for someone else is your choice. It's whether you can imagine yourself doing it. So it's not a question of who's in control or whether you're going to do something you would never otherwise do. It's what can you imagine doing. Now, if that still scares you, then maybe you have a little more self-examination to be doing. But on the other hand, if there is any change you want, or if you want to access the abilities you have within yourself, hypnosis is a great way to do it. And it's all about your imagination.
Thank you, Stephen. Stephen, I might need to talk to you about hypnosis and me to get rid of my tongue clicks, because I'm never going to do it on